face. The final curtain, my friend. I'll say it clear. I'll state my case. Oh, hold on just a second. I'm checking to make sure that the thumbnail I put for this stream is actually the thumbnail for this stream because YouTube's had a problem with that lately. Oh, it is. Oh, thank you so much, Susan. All right, now let's take a look and see who's here. Indo's in and just chillin'. Yo. Will is in. Anbu Uchiha. Renee. Hey, Lix is here. Oh, shit. What's up, homie? Did that sound cool? Did that sound street the way I said that? I am pretty gangsta. JWP Wrestling's in. Yeah, this is a little earlier than usual, but my wife and I have some errands we got to do all afternoon. And I really wanted to stream today. We haven't streamed in a few days, so I wanted to check in with you guys, see what was going on. Figure it's a good date. We've been doing the Ask Me Anything streams once a week. And the good thing about them is, people can come in and ask anything. It's an Ask Me Anything stream. But they also end up taking off into just some interesting side conversation, too. Chris Morlett is here. And Carrie Naruto. Toby. Nolan. Poppy, my favorite ginger. And Xander's here. We're doing good, Carrie. Family's doing good. Toby says, Curtis, I got a question. What was it like to get your first big check from doing YouTube? It's kind of tough to answer, Toby, because it was never really... It was a slow month-to-month progress. So you never, our channel, we never had one of those moments like some do. Like some channels will have some big YouTuber shout them out or post something of theirs or something like that, and then they get a nail. That never happened. Ours was just a slow progression, so there was never one big check. And to be honest with you, as far as finances, it's the Patreon group, the Gooshers, who support everything I do. We make some money from YouTube. It's not a lot. It's the Patreon that supports everything. I do remember, though, early on, I got my money from YouTube one month because they just pay you once a month. The money came in, it was like, this would have been probably 7 years ago or so. The money was like $25. And I just remember thinking, hey, that's cool. That's a tank of gas. And it was just kind of a fun feeling to have gotten that, only because I was having fun doing it. Making videos is a blast. So it was something I did for fun, and now it paid for a tank of gas back then. It wouldn't pay for a tank of gas now. But back then it did. But I never really had from YouTube a hit one month that was more huge than the following month. I had that month where I made 25. Well, maybe the next month I made 50, 55, something like that. It was always just incremental. Kobe says, things in North Carolina that you don't normally see back in New York. Two things we're noticing, especially with having Nene, my disabled daughter, and getting her set up with all her programs and everything. People down here are generally much friendlier, much more chill and relaxed, and technologically things are much more backwards. They haven't caught up on a lot of stuff, and I'm a techie geek, so that part's annoying. Trust me, well worth it to live in this gorgeous, gorgeous community that we live in. I am so happy, not only with the neighborhood, but I mean with North Carolina in general. But those are the two things that stick out. Yeah, looks as hot, tank of gas. Yoshikage Kira is here. And his hands. You got notifications through Discord, Chrome? Yeah, that figures. Looks says, dude, I'm glad I can't drive. I'd be broke. Oh, okay. Will says, I got to go to work, but very, very important question. Among Us, Rule 34, yay or nay? Well, you fill in the blank. Whatever, Rule 34, yay. Nolan says, remember that time I asked about my balls hurting good times? Yes, I do. Retro Mint Man says, I feel like I know what you mean. Good to see you again, too, pal. On my grandma's side of town, it's like I'm in a different time period. Yeah, it's really odd. I don't know why technologically things are so far behind here. but just we've noticed that. Well, and then two things now, getting my daughter set up for programs and things like that. It took over 2 weeks just to get just in the mail, just to have the mail my wife the application she needed. She put the applications in, went down, brought stuff to the appropriate governmental agency yesterday, and they're talking, well, it could be up to 3 months before we're able to assign her a program. It's like, holy shit. And now I'm no fan of New York, but in New York, a long wait was if you had 2-3 weeks. They're really behind technologically bad. Who got ghosted? I ghosted Licks? Hamdu says, love North Carolina and its people. Also very beautiful state. It is gorgeous. It is beautiful here. I mean, the weather too. Even now, we went through. What I'm noticing that's different is we went through a streak of bad weather this past week, where you had rainstorms and stuff during the day. But the difference seems to be, at least so far, down here when you have the rainy weather, the rainy stretch, the days still are pretty nice. They're pretty decent, because even when you're getting that rain on and off, there's blue patches of sky. Now, before we left New York, we had a month where I'll bet you if the month was 30 days, 25 of those days it was just gray and depressing and cold and damp. And that doesn't seem to be the case here. So yes, that helps, because that's depressing to me. Alex says, most people have an open door policy. Chuck Norris has a closed fist policy. I'm missing something here. It's Lix's birthday? Happy birthday, Lix. Is it really? Is it your birthday? I'll bet you've had a lot less of them than I have had. Conversationosaurus Rex says, in the photo on your thumbnail, how did you get arrested? I still under a gag order. I can't talk about it. Barry says, Curtis, you can't forget the mighty 92 cent stream that made us what we truly are. But with inflation, that mighty 92 cents is now only 69 cents. Oh, yeah. If that's the case, that would be nice. Oh, she wants me to take my shirt off for her birthday, Chrome says. Yeah, I'm sure not everybody needs to be subjected to that. Nolan says, just finished binging the Fruit of Grisaya. Very good. Would recommend. Add it to the list, Baldwin. Yes, there are titties. Yeah, you would be surprised, Nolan, at all the things we already have seen. And Chrome says, speaking of tech, just got a new 2 terabyte hard drive. Nice. Cost £85. It's USB-C to USB-C. So I can remove everything from my old laptop. Nice. But I have to transfer it from one laptop to the other to put on hard drive. Yeah. That's Chrome why most people get excited when they get to buy a new PC, but especially with me, with my whole world revolving within this my PC. It's a pain in the ass when I have to get a new one. I have so much shit to transfer over. I have one hard drive that I always just move with me, but then the stuff on the other hard drive has to all be transferred over, all the programs reinstalled, and it's like, oh fuck. You can't even enjoy getting a new one. Lance Corporal Hawk says, I'm assuming you've heard about Kane being a mayor in Tennessee. Sure. Imagine if he ever ran for president. Instead of a debate, he just plays his theme, puts mask on, and choke slams opponent into table. That'd be awesome. That'd be cool. Listen, instead of actual debates, I'm all for cage matches. I think that'd be cool as hell. And the only other wrestler to really make it prominent in politics was Jesse Ventura, and at least Glenn Jacobs, Kane, is a lot less batshit than Jesse Ventura is. Excuse me. Licks the shirt off for 9/11 part 2 happens. Thanks, Robert. I appreciate that. Yoshikage Kira says, if you take your shirt off, keep your hands on display as well, please, for no reason in particular. Well, we are talking about Yoshikage Kira here, so of course you're going to bring up hands. Ha! Oh, that was really funny. Conversationosaurus Rex says the problem with Kane is that his policies are just awful. Like, he really does fit the role of the big red monster. He's very conservative, isn't he? I don't follow him that closely, his political career, to be honest with you. But I think he's very conservative, no? The Candyman can. Woman sob. Poppy says, I spent £97 at the Comic-Con I went to on Sunday. My friend spent £100. She bought a Tokyo Ghoul bag and asked me, what anime is this, bruh? I know, I haven't gotten any, oh, excuse me, guys, got that. Oh, drainage in my ear. I haven't gotten any new anime stuff in a while. I want to get some more anime t-shirts. I got to decide which ones I want to get next. We're watching so much cool stuff now over at the Goosh. Between, the daily shows and the incredible array of G100s we have. I don't know. I got to think of, that's a good call, Poppy. She says, I spent most of that on Spy Family stuff. That's such a good show. I like Spy Family a lot. That would be, actually, that's a good indicator. That would be a good t-shirt to get next. Anbu says, I like the boogeyman from WWE. He's a creep. I'm the boogeyman, and I'm going to get ya. He wasn't a bad worker either. He could work a match. I think it's cool. I think that gimmick was fun, like you. I really do. But I think, my personal opinion, I think it hurt his career. I think it was so over the top, silly and different, that I really think it took away from the fact that he could work the shit out of a match. Do I still have VHS tapes, John S? Yes, because I gotta get time at some point. Well, I gotta get another VCR because I have the accessories I need to transfer my VHS stuff over. I got a lot of wrestling stuff I'd like to show you guys and everything, but I just got to get a VCR to facilitate it. So I keep the VHS tapes in the hopes that someday I'm actually going to get the time to digitize them all. Solara says, good to see you stream, Curtis. Things have been shit in the UK. Our government is being shills and letting businesses pollute waters, letting the taxes get stupid high. It's nice to not be stressed. Don't feel bad, Solara. Governments worldwide government worldwide basically has just completely gotten out of the hands of the people everywhere. I think. Retro Mint Man says, Eddie Guerrero is my all-time favorite wrestler. He's a phenomenal wrestler and a great, great guy. I've told you guys before when he was away from the WWE, I think he got in trouble for substances, but he was away for a while, so he was working the indies. And, I mean, I was already, at the time he was working shows with us, I wasn't looking for any assistance to get further in the business. I was comfortable where I was. I was an old man already. But he would take the young guys, and after doing a show, this is one of the big names in the history of wrestling, would stay after the show and just work with the young guys just because he loved the business so much and just liked helping people. And he'd be right there in the ring giving them tips, pointers, letting them know what they're doing right, doing wrong. Just such a good guy. I mean, you never saw guys doing stuff like that. Most of the ex-big names or big name guys that I've either met or worked with have been good guys, but Eddie took it to a whole different level. Yoshikage Kira says, have you ever played Danganronpa? I did, but believe it or not, I dropped it. It didn't. The reason I dropped it was too slow moving for me. The gang here will remember better than I do the specifics of what happened, but there was one supposed mystery where something was written on a wall, and it was just, all it was the clue was written backwards. And so immediately I saw it, and it's like, oh, okay, so so-and-so's the killer. And I had to play through another 2 hours of the fucking game where we're all pretending like we don't know who the killer was. And it's like, nah, I don't have patience. I've told you guys that. That's why what I always use to illustrate it is I don't play chess anymore. I have no patience for stuff like that. And I couldn't stay with it. It's It's like, I already know who this killer is. I want the story to move on now. And it wouldn't. It was just more conversation, and then more conversation about who was the actual killer. It's the fucking one who, the name of the one who wrote it backwards on the wall. Jesus Christ. The tutorial case. Is that what it was, Big Green? Yeah. It just, again, that's where it lost me. I need things to keep moving a little more briskly than that, or I can't play. Carrie Naruto, I remember that quote. Yes, the people should not fear the government should fear the people. V for Vendetta. I remember when that came out. That was a TV movie, wasn't it? If I'm remembering that one right. Chrome says, I wonder how you'd handle Ace Attorney then. It does get better, Big Green says. Yeah, but that's what just did it for me. It was just too much. I mean, we went on and on. It's like, fuck, this is not interesting. We know who did it. Kat says, hey, Curtis, have you ever played any games from the Tales of series? If not, then I highly recommend Tales of Berseria and Tales of the Abyss. I don't have... Well, if I'm gaming... You guys see it, and as you can see, I haven't had any time for gaming lately, other than we have Fractured But Whole sponsored, and of course, SL's been sponsoring that. That's fun. That fucking Fractured But Whole is a lot of fun, and so is Goose Goose Duck. That BTG's been sponsoring. That's a blast. But outside of that, I haven't been doing any gaming. Chrome says, so envision it. I'm slowly downloading everything from my old laptop to a 64 gig micro SD card, then transferring that on the new laptop to the hard drive. And I've got over 1 terabyte stored on the old one. Oh, that's the part that's such drudgery, Chrome. I'm with you. I can sympathize. Again, that's why, when it's time for a new PC, I don't even get excited because it's like, oh, it's going to be so much work. And I've already upgraded this one once. So whether it's Windows rot takes over or just need more speed or whatever the case becomes, when I do have to move on, this board won't handle another upgrade. So it's more inexpensive. It's more price conscious to just buy a new computer than it is to buy all the components you would need yourself. So I'll be buying another one. Oh, Lix says, see, this is why I'm glad you didn't finish Corpse Party. That game is full of that kind of bullshit. Yeah, Lix, I can't do that. And again, it's my own fault. It's a personality flaw I have. If something doesn't keep moving, or at least it doesn't even have to be fast paced. It just has to keep my interest. And dredging through all those conversations when we already know the answer to what they're conversing about was just too much for me. Have I ever watched chess boxing, Jeff? I don't even know what that is. Nope. I have no idea. No idea on that. Barry says, I've come to the conclusion that if you're not going to take your shirt off, I'm left no choice but to take my pants off. Nobody wants to see that, not even my late mother who birthed me. Chrome says, all this is because I have no idea where my USB-A to C cable is gone. There's a new EU law going into effect next year where all power connectors have to be USB-C now. Really? I'm terrible about that. With whatever cables it may be, whatever connection you have to make, I've got the cables for whatever I might need, but then finding them is another issue. Big Green says, I'm surprised you finished Doki Doki since it also took a long time to get going. It did, but it's not that it took a long time to get going. I can be patient with that. I can't be patient with waiting for the next installment when I already have completed the current installment, which is what happened with the other one. Again, it was just all those conversations were horrifically boring. And, well, they were horrifically boring because I already knew who the killer was. So it's like, I don't want to sit through this. But with Doki Doki, I think the conversations were much more lively, and they always kept pushing the plot forward. Barry says, even with being time constrained, any idea if you'll be buying the new CODM W2 when it comes out in October? Would I like to play it? Absolutely. I mean, you guys know I've always loved Call of Duty. Whether I buy it or not will depend on if I can envision myself with any time to play it. There's no sense in buying it to have it, sit on a shelf. But it'll depend on where I'm at that point, see if I think I can play. Alex says, one of the Corpse Party excuse me, game overs comes from picking up a totally inconspicuous item, and then you don't get the game over until an hour later. So if you saved any point during that hour, you're fucked. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, yeah. See, I can't have stuff like that, too, because, again, of time constraints. And it's not even, well, I shouldn't even say time constraints. My house is always fluid. There's always something going on. Somebody always needs something. Not as much now that we're here in North Carolina as it was in New York. But I can't have a game where I've got to go long, long stretches and not be interrupted to be able to save, because there's a lot of times I'm going to get interrupted and not be able to do that. Sharpie says, orgies are just better party games. Change my mind. No, I have no desire to change your mind. Kira says, only true veterans will remember the classic horror RPG Ao Ani. Yeah, I don't, that name's not even familiar to me. Barry says we could play Curtis Says on MW2 like Swiftor says. It would be funny. I don't know what you mean by that. Curtis Says and how I don't know what what that game would entail. What you mean? Jeff says chess boxing is a hybrid sport that combines chess and boxing. Two combatants play alternating rounds of blitz chess and boxing until one wins by checkmate or knockout. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Let's see. David says, what's your favorite superhero movie of all time? Probably, yeah. And another title that's going to go right on my head. The final in the Marvel universe. Oh my gosh. Guys, what's Endgame? Thank you, Chrome. Endgame. Yeah, probably Endgame. I really, really enjoyed Endgame. No one says like Simon Says, but disobedience equals death. All right, that's pretty cool. There should be repercussions. I think death is a quality repercussion. Oh, Zuchen says, hello, I just got notified 19 minutes after the stream started. And we were talking earlier about, being down here in North Carolina and how they're a little technologically stunted. I think YouTube is a little technologically stunted too, because when you think about it, why would Zuchen get notified 19 minutes later? This isn't snail mail. There is nothing to hold up a notification from going out. I don't know. Big Green says Aoani is kind of goofy now as far as horror games go because it's old, but it's classic. See, I don't remember that title at all. Mortem says, what's your best advice for an 18-year-old guy? Enjoy being 18. And I don't say that just flippantly. Seriously, it's so easy when you're young to feel like the things that you're able to do and the things you're able to enjoy will live with you forever, and they won't. So it's one of those things that at that age, always make sure you're taking time to take in the big moments and enjoy all the things that life has for an 18-year-old. No one says Curtis only finished DDLC because he wasn't holding out hope Yuri was going to take her top off at some point, which she does in some of the mods. Not that I played those or anything. I heard that before about the mods, Nolan. I've heard there was some nudity in the mods. Chrome says, like, on one hand, I don't mind all my tech being USB-C. It means I don't have to worry anymore about wires. They'll all just work with the same cable, true. But I don't like it being mandated. Yeah. That's understandable. Absolutely. Did you really? Kira once got notified of a stream right when it was ending. Yeah, we've had people come into the comments hours later, sometimes even a day later, and say they just got notified. And I told you guys, I I had contacted YouTube about it a couple times in the past just to ask what the problem was, and they just deny it. And it doesn't matter what it's like, okay, well, why would people lie to me? I mean, especially when, again, we'll have a stream, and if I get 20 people, all independent of one another, come to me and say, oh, I didn't get notified, why would they make that up? But apparently you guys do. You just lie because Susan has this down pat. She's perfect and everything runs smoothly. And if you're under the impression that anything here at YouTube doesn't run smoothly, it's because you're malfunctioning. That's basically what they tell all of us. Wolverine says Mario is Japanese. His first name is Itsumi. Itsumi. Sharpie says, what are these mods asking for a friend? I'm not sure what you mean. I'm not sure what you mean, pal. Big Green says, what still fucks me up is that mods can also miss out on getting notifications. Oh, that kills me. The people who have to moderate the chat. Yeah. And not only that, like you say, you would certainly think that when somebody, and again, it's not deep technology. It's not something difficult for them to engineer. That as soon as somebody becomes a mod of a channel, you would think they would get notified of everything unless, for whatever reason, they decided to turn it off. Because you always have that option. But you would think that would be an automatic, okay, this person always gets notified. Because you don't know if they want, whether you're going to moderate streams or videos, the comment section of a video or whatever. If you're a moderator, you would assume it's because you're interested in the content of the channel and you want to help out with said content. It stuns me. And the thing is, you can never, if YouTube would just come out and say, listen, we just can't get it right, at least that would be an explanation. But the denial, again, it's like dealing with 5-year-olds. Niall says, just asking what are your favorite animes. Oh, I got a whole list of elite animes. Mine has followed Persona 5, the animation, Sonic X, and the manga adaptation from Kamen Rider Double, known as Futo Pi. I've got a whole list of favorites. That's pretty good. Wolverine says I get notified like 9 times out of 10 live streams. And now, and again, I don't get that because like Chrome will tell me all the time she comes because she got notified on Discord. Big Green said the same thing. All you guys, how many years have you been with me here and been mods and been in every stream, and there's no explanation. And the part that really kills me, YouTube owes me $500 now for opening up channel memberships. And fortunately, we've got quite a number of channel members now too. It's worked out well. But you're willing to pay all that money because you want us to have things like channel memberships, and then you don't notify people of the streams. It's so counterproductive. It doesn't make any sense. Letheus says, I was wondering, is there a meme in the U.S. of a certain place or state not existing? In Europe, this started with the city of Bielefeld, but also there are theories Belgium doesn't exist. The only thing we not here in the States, we've made fun of it here a lot when the flat earthers said that Australia didn't exist, but I don't think, do we guys? I don't think we have any legends of that nature, just within the states of a state or a city or something like that not really existing. I don't think so. Anbus has been with you 5 years, still have issues. Yeah, and then when they do give an explanation, one of the things that kills me is when you'll sign up for notifications. I don't think they use this lame explanation anymore, but they used to. They say, well, even if you sign up for a notification, sometimes we monitor it because we don't want to overwhelm you. It's like, so you're saying we're all too stupid to only subscribe to the channels that we want notifications from? You don't think we can handle that on our own? It's stunning. No one says you can talk about the arrest story. I'll lift your gag order. Just let me back up a few steps. Poppy says you want one of the stupidest thing I've heard, the Earth is a plane. Well, it wasn't there. I think this was started as a joke, and some people took it as seriousness. Wasn't there something going around not too long ago that birds were not real, and there were some sort of agents of the government? Wasn't that going around for a while? I don't know what all the details were on that, but I think that one started as a joke. But again, there's so many simpletons out there that, and conspiracy theorist nuts, that were like, "Oh, I knew it. We've got you now." Chrome says, by the way, did you see that DBS Superhero is the #1 film in its opening week in the U.S.? No. It did 20.1 million opening weekend. Double Idris Elba's film that came out same day. I'll ban any spoilers. Wow, very cool. No, I didn't see that. That's cool. Oh, that's excellent for an anime movie in the U.S. 20.1 mil. That's awesome. Niall says, if you like anime, head over to the Goose. Your Patreon. Also, bring your Dragon Balls. You do get notifications, Jack? Isn't it? It's so weird. And yeah, like I say, people that are in the streams every day, people that moderate the streams for us every day, don't always get them. I just can't figure it out. Sharpie says, if I get a pet bird, can I have my own Stan Smith? Wow. Carrie says it beat out Pokemon, the first movie, by $700,000. That's pretty good. That's awesome. I like to see anime taking, obviously, being you guys have turned me into an absolute weeb. I like to see anime really taking hold in American culture. Ooh, Lomeli says, how much money would it take to fill up your car with fries and eat all the fries entirely inside? My car's not super big. I don't know how much. How many? Oh, that's tough math. Okay, if it's a large fries from McDonald's, what do those cost now? About $2.69, something like that. Oh, excuse me, guys. I just like saying 69. Who knows? Probably have to have. Yeah, 1,000 of them wouldn't fill it. No way. I bet you'd be more like 3,000 of them. So what, you'd be talking $70,000 or so? I think it's something that needs to be looked into. Big Green says the notification system is fucked, and for the love of fuck, get rid of the bell. It does nothing. That pisses me off too. And that, Big Green, that was part of the progression from what I was talking about. YouTube said, oh, well, we don't, even if you're subscribed to a channel, we don't want to overwhelm you, flood your inbox with notifications. Tick the bell. Now, if you tick the bell, we know that you really want to get notified. Then they took it to another step further, and it's just bullshit. None of it has meant anything. And again, that's not top shelf difficult engineering. They just don't give a fuck. They just don't care. Rosa says, these days you can't make jokes about communities you're not part of anymore. Yeah, seems to be the case. Only gay people can make gay jokes. Only black people can make black jokes, etc. Anyway, two pedos will walk into a bar. Oh, that's terrible. Oh, Rosa, that's awful. Yeah, and Willie too. Yep, just got here. No notification. Now again, here's Willie. Been with us for years. In all the streams. Channel member. Can't get a notification. It's so fucking stupid. You did get notified this time, Wix? That's something anyway. I just, again, I've given up. There is no, hey, Lomeli, good to have you on board. There is no rhyme or reason to it all. Just none. Chrome says, here's some lifetime U.S. box office comparisons. It's already 5th. Could reach at least 3rd before it goes out of cinema. Let me take a look at Chrome's link here. Top 5 anime releases at U.S. box office. Pokemon first movie made 85.7. Demon Slayer 43.9. Pokemon the movie 43.7. Dragon Ball Super Broly 30.7. Yu-Gi-Oh! Pyramid of Light 19.7. Yeah, that would, again, I just like seeing anime do well here. I haven't seen Supernatural, Jack. My wife and I are currently watching Stranger Things, which was a mistake on her part. I thought Stranger Things was more psychological thriller than it was horror because my wife hates horror movies, but now she's invested. So she sits there and she has her pillow that she holds over her eyes. Spaz Kid was the Batman, and my wife is Pillow Girl. Puts the pillow over her eyes. Niall says, wish I could stay, but I got a race. See you next stream. Well, good. Well, thanks for being here while you could, pal. Holy shit. Nolan says, I've gotten a notification as late as 3 days after the stream. You would think there'd be something in the system, somewhere in YouTube's system that would be like, you know what? We fucked up. We didn't notify him. There's no sense sending it now. I watched some of the boys, Yoshikage Kira, I watched The Boys. It was sponsored for a while at the Goose, at the Patreon. But I haven't kept up with it since. It was really good, though. Really, I liked the concept, too. And the characters were good. Yeah, it was fun. It was neat to have this rogues gallery of superheroes. Jack says, just so you know, I don't know if you're seeing my comment, Family Guy is on Hulu 1960. Yeah, Family Guy's been on Hulu for a while. Lex says, oh yeah, I remember that time I got a notification for a stream as the next day's stream was about to start. That's so fucking ridiculous. Jason says, hell yeah, I caught a stream. How's it going, Curtis? It's going good, Jason. Good to have you here. Mortem says, Susan, big dumb. And that's to me, that's the most annoying part is why not just admit it? Just tell us that. Well, whatever. Notifications are difficult to engineer. They're difficult, with the mass number of people we have here. Why lie? That's what I don't get. Why lie? Bold-faced lie to me and say, oh no, we checked, the notifications went out. It's like, no, they fucking didn't. And all I'm doing is asking, all I was asking at that time was, is there something I needed to do differently that would help or just any advice you could give me? And, it didn't happen. All those people that came to you and said, wow, I didn't get a notification, were just lying because they went out. Hey, Wee, good to see you. Anbu says, miss that sexy train. Like I say, when I get back up to New York, if I get down near the tracks and have any amount of time there, I will stream from there so we can give it one more finger. Alethea says, to be fair, YouTube kind of sucks. And hey, I do too sometimes, but let's be fair, I'm not a video website, so who cares? That's right, you're not dealing with subscriptions and stuff, Alethea. Or maybe you are. Zuchan says, so Gravity Falls or Stranger Things? I haven't seen Gravity Falls. Lick says, I just found out there's a fishing anime a few days ago, though apparently I'm late to the party because all the videos on are from 2 years ago. Really? I didn't know. Fishing anime? It doesn't really surprise me. For the longest time, I would be surprised by how many different topics anime has covered, but it's so impressive now. It doesn't even shock me to hear anything. I thought for the longest time you guys were just goofing on me that there was a anime based entirely on cooking. And it's like, Food Wars ended up being pretty good. Big Green says, yeah, I do get notifications. I'm just lying. In fact, I don't even want to see your streams. Person I subscribe to and hit the bell on. Yeah. And then I'm a moderator on, right, Big Green? That's what I mean. That's why it's so ridiculous. That's the part that pissed me off. If they were just up front and just said, listen, we're having technical issues with it, and we don't know when it's going to be corrected, if ever. You'd be like, well, that sucks, but it is what it is. But to lie, oh no, the notification went out. We checked. You didn't check shit. Well, don't fucking lie to me. Chrome says one of the biggest anime out there was based off Ping Pong. Ping Pong the animation, really? That's pretty good. I didn't know there's a ping pong one either. Willie says, my comment is getting censored and there are no swears. Just naming some anime I've been watching. And that's another thing too. I still don't understand that. We've talked about that before. We have the option to turn on filters for language and stuff. I keep everything off. I want you guys to be able to say whatever you want to say. I'll deal with whatever you guys want to say. Doesn't matter. They still censor the shit out of everything. So why give me the option? I don't understand that. Why do I have a box I can tick to filter things if you're just going to filter them anyway? It's just I think sometimes YouTube just wants to give you the illusion that you have some control over your own channel. Prince of Tennis I've heard of, Nolan. I didn't see it, but I've heard that title before. Mahjong has an anime, Big Green? That's cool. Willie says, I've been addicted to trashy rom-com anime recently. I don't know why, but now I've also got my friend into it as well. This includes Dress Up. Actually good. Rent a Girlfriend. Oh, My Dress Up Darling? That's excellent. That was excellent. I like that a lot. Oh, I haven't seen the Violet Evergarden movies yet, Jason. I will, because I love Violet Evergarden. I'm trying to get time where my wife actually watched that with me. Trying to get time where we can watch them together. Really? Anbu says Gravity Falls is up there with Avatar. It's badass. I've heard a lot about it, but I've never seen anything of it. Jack Kate says Netflix has Tekken Bloodlines anime. It's good. They have a lot of good ones. They have one about a kid going to school for art. Chrome disagrees. Says, no, Gravity Falls is good, but nowhere near as good as Avatar. That's a hell of a hill to climb, though. Avatar is really good. I just remember being so impressed because I knew a little, before we started watching, I knew a little bit about Avatar from Spaz Kid, having had an interest in it years prior. But that ended up being so much better than I had even anticipated. That's a really good show. Really good show. All right, guys. Well, I got to go. I apologize for this one being a little shorter than usual, but that's why it started early, because I got to go downstairs, help my wife finish getting Nene ready, and we got a bunch of errands to do all afternoon, so I was going to be gone. But at least I got to touch base with you guys and hang out a little bit today, because, again, I miss it when I don't get to stream with you guys on the regular. This was a lot of fun. Thank you guys for hanging in with me. Thanks for being here so early, and thanks to Susan for all those notifications that didn't go out, trying to help us. And we would be entirely remiss if we didn't say happy birthday to Lex. And I mean that sincerely. Happy birthday, Lex. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. Thanks for all the good conversation. This, as always, just made my day. And hopefully I'll be back with more streams before Free For All Friday. I'm hoping to get some more in before then, but I'll definitely do the best I can. Thanks, guys. And we can't let today go by, a day as big and as important as Lix's birthday, without a little something extra. Anyway, so I'll see you guys really, really soon.